This is Unity, Joy of Life. I'm Nancy Norman, and this is your weekly wisdom. The Bible tells us that it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, to fear not. Fear not, for it is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Oh, there has been so much written about the emotion of fear. Our thinking self is in the future, and this creates an anxiety gap. We forget that we are more than our thinking self. We are spiritual beings in the here and now. We can, with God's help, always cope with the present moment. We can, with God's help, always cope with the present moment. However, we can't cope with a mind projection of future negativity. That just doesn't work. Because God is here and now, so we cannot cope with the mind projection of future negativity. God is here, and God is here right now. And God does not work in hypothetical situations. When fear comes up, we must affirm love and faith in God and expect the good in spite of fearful feelings and or appearances. Greater is God within us than anything in the world. I love the story of author Alan Cohen's first book. Alan lived his early life filled with fear. And then he found a teaching similar to our teaching. And he found that he didn't have to live with fear, that there was a power greater than he was, and he could use that power, and he could trust that power. So he wrote down all the things that he learned about his fear and this greater power. He borrowed $5,000, found a publisher, gave the publisher his borrowed $5,000, his manuscript, signed a contract, and he was on his way out when the publisher said, "You know, Alan, they say that a writer doesn't start making money until they've published at least 3 books. Alan didn't miss a beat. He said, "Oh, really? Well, that's not true for me. You see, God is my agent. God is my agent." Alan Cohen was not going to buy into somebody else's fear, what somebody else said. He never bought into that fear. And you know what? It takes courage to stand firm in faith. It is said that courage has genius, magic, and power in it. When all fear is wiped out, we live magic lives. Alan Cohen went on to sell millions of that first book, The Dragon Doesn't Live Here Anymore. And then he wrote many other books. I think he's written about 40 of them by now. And they all have lessons. They all are written to help others, to give them confidence and courage. You see, there is an endless, invisible supply for each and every one of us. And this supply of whatever we want is waiting to be released by faith and the spoken word. When you come to the edge of all the light that you know and are about ready to step off into the darkness of the unknown, faith is knowing that one of 2 things will happen. There will be something solid to stand on, or you will be taught how to fly. Fear not. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not. It is the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. God bless you and have a magnificent magnificent week.